There we go. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Cole, and as you can see, I've got another martial arts live commentary lined up. The original plan was I was going to be joined by one or maybe even a couple guests, and I don't know what's going on with that. Someone is running late, so maybe they'll be able to join us a little later on. Although I'm going to get into this pretty quickly. There's not a lot really to say as an intro for this. This is Rumble in the Bronx from 1995, so this is this wasn't Jackie Chan's first attempt to break into the North American market, but it was his first successful attempt. And it's easy to see why. And that in earlier movies, like when he sometimes appeared in some of Western movies, like The Battle or whatever, what was it, The Big Battle, Battle Creek or something like that, or um, and then there was at least another couple that he did. And he was more trying to appeal, I think, to Western sensibilities and maybe some of that sort of action tough guy stuff that like Stallone and Schwarzenegger and people were doing in the 80s. And I think finally he just decided if he's gonna try to break into the Western market, he would just do it by being himself. And that's what this movie is. It's Jackie just being himself, doing the stuff that he does, although it does have an American setting. Although New York City famously shot in and around the city of Vancouver. So it's got that in common with some other movies, including like Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, where Vancouver also stands in for New York, kind of not so well. But another thing is that this is that Jackie didn't direct this one. By this time, he'd really kind of stopped directing. I think just because he wanted to focus more on. Well, I don't know if it's about focus. I just think maybe he thought he was, since he was already doing so much anyway, directing too. Maybe this was maybe to lighten the workload a little bit. Although I don't know. I mean, Jackie doesn't direct this. It's directed by Stanley Tong, who had also directed Super Cop or Police Story 3, which, of course, Jackie had directed the first two himself. And after this film, Tong would also direct First Strike or Police Story 4. And they were both very successful over here. But yeah, I was going to say, I mean, even though Tong is the director, obviously Jackie is still super involved in this, particularly the action sequences and the choreographing, and of course using his famous Jackie Chan stunt team and all that good stuff. So anyway, this movie was a big success over here. It had a budget of only, I think, $13 million. Ah, there we go. It had a budget of only $13 million, and it made, I think, $76 million, making it the most profitable film of that year. And if you bring that into today's money, it almost doubles. So like $76 million in 1995 is like, I think, over $150 million nowadays. So huge, huge success. But anyway, here we go. Joined a little late. Ba boom. There's the Stingray.
Hey,
Oh, what's up?
what's going on?
Yeah, just getting through the intro here. There's not too much to say. This is probably, I think, the second Jackie Chan movie I saw. The first I saw was Police Story 3 or Super Cop, which I'd rented for like my 10th or 11th birthday, and I saw maybe in like 93 or something, sometime after, it was on video. And I think this was the second movie I saw, but I did not see this in the theater like a lot of people did. I think the next one, I saw First Strike. So I saw First Strike in the theater, and I watched all the other releases over here. And at the time, like Mr. Nice Guy, and also Operation Condor, which at the time, I didn't know was an older movie that was getting re-released. I thought it was just a new Jackie Chan movie.
Right.
So I saw those all in the theater, but I did not see this one. But I remember seeing this on video again in Ryan's basement, probably a year or two after I'd seen Super Cop. So by this point, I knew who Jackie Chan was, or at least the tip of the iceberg. I knew he was a cool martial arts guy and all that stuff. So you saw this in theater?
Yeah.
You did, yeah. That's pretty cool. And of course, being getting the Western release, the movie had a dub for it, and that's what we're watching here. It's just a dub. Um, and the thing I got used to was by this point, Jackie was dubbing himself. So as silly as the dub is in a lot of ways, at least when you hear that is Jackie's voice. The way the film was shot was everybody just spoke their native language. So Jackie is speaking Cantonese in the movie, while most of the other characters are speaking English. But but anyway, that's just standard fare for how they did these things. As I said, I have a soft spot for these dubs anyway, even though they're silly. I can still remember, like, whoever does the voice of Angelo, he just sounds so cartoony. I mean, a lot of them really do. And the voice of the kid is really grating and gets on my nerves. Hey, Kyung, you're number one. Oh, my God. But, it's part of the movie's charm, I suppose. Yeah, it's just a fun movie. And like I said, Jackie had sort of finally learned that to break into the Western market, he had to stop trying to, like, change his style and be more Western and just be himself. And that's what this movie is. It's him being himself. It's the Jackie Chan stunt team. And as I said, while this was directed by Stanley Tong, it still, has Jackie's fingerprints all over it. So for me, the first thing that comes up is, I think, the New Line Cinema logo.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I've got as well.
So I'm about 2 seconds in. It's just starting to emerge.
Okay.
I don't know if Orc will be around or not. He doesn't seem to be around tonight, but I did shoot him an invite because I told him about it last night before we had to change our plans. So I don't know. Maybe there'll be a later Orc sighting later in the evening. You never know with Orc. He's unpredictable.
Let's hope so.
So we'll do a countdown and we will jump in.
Cool.
So a 3, 2, 1. Hit play now. I will adjust our volume here.
Yeah, I realized the other day that I actually have this on
there
VHS.
It is.
Yeah.
VHS. Oh, great. Yeah. So yeah, like that's how I first saw it because I didn't see it in the theater. So I saw it on video VHS back in the day, in the mid '90s.
No fear, no stunt man, no equal.
It's true. Sometimes those quotes and things on boxes they can't live up to it, but that's all true.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Anita Mui, we'll talk about her later. It's interesting she gets like sort of top billing after Jackie and explain why. That's why. Yep. I'll point them out as they come. This movie is sort of lacking other really cool stunt performers. Not that there aren't good ones, but I mean, not really any names. I mean, it's more about Jackie sort of just fighting against New York gangs and then whatever that like syndicate is and stuff. So it's lacking like some sort of like, I don't know, dragon-esque foe that sometimes he fights, whether it's like a skilled martial artist. But that's okay, because it makes up for it in volume, just the chaos that erupts in Jackie's style, fighting off lots of guys and using his environment and all that stuff. And he takes a ton of punishment in this movie, too. Like, I mean, Jackie's always separated himself from a lot of other martial arts stars by, like, playing characters that get hit a lot and take damage and punishment, but this is right up there. I mean, what happens to him? It's also important to note that Jackie was 40 years old when he made this movie. So, better late than never, I guess, as far as being introduced to a lot of people. So I still really like this movie a lot. I can't rank it as high as I used to because I've seen, some of his earlier better stuff. But I still have like a good soft spot for this movie. It's a lot of fun. So there's our character Kyung. There's not much plot to this movie, but the plot is his uncle is getting married. So he's Uncle Bill, as he calls him, so he comes here. So that is Bill Tung, who played sort of a fatherly uncle type character and all sorts of things. He's in, the police story movies as the police captain. He's also a police captain in Project A too. And then later he shows up in First Strike and he's always the sort of same thing. This one's different because he's just his uncle, but the other ones, he's like his commanding officer or something like that. But he's always pretty much the same sort of guy. Bill Tung. He's dead now. But he lived a pretty long life. He actually had a pretty extensive career as an announcer. He would like call like horse races in China, which is kind of cool. So makes sense. He can be an excitable sounding guy, I guess. It's like, welcome to New York, and he notices right off that it's full of crime. There's some spillover from the 80s. This is about the time when New York's getting cleaned up a bit, but still, it's still New York, and it's still definitely a big culture shock to somebody from Hong Kong.
Is this actually New York, though? Isn't it Toronto?
Most of it's Vancouver.
Oh, Vancouver, okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's supposed to be New York, right? It's Rumble in the Bronx. It's supposed to be New York. But, yes, most of it is Vancouver. And in some places, as we'll point out, it's pretty easy to tell. One of the telling things, it's not fun. It's not like Vancouver is this perfect, utopia, because it's not, and it has crime and stuff too. But one of the telling things about this movie was like how they had to like make their own graffiti because there just wasn't any, and then they had to clean it up after it was over. I mean, that sort of speaks to the myth of like Canadian cities being like super clean and stuff. I mean, I'm in Halifax, there's graffiti here, but still.
Yeah.
Traditional Chinese household there with all the photos and the shrine to the ancestors, and there's the old practice thing for the kung fu.
Man, I can't believe he was 40 when he made this. He looks
40.
so young.
Yeah. I mean, Jet Li even more so. Like when we did a couple years ago, we did Fist of Legend. Like in that movie, I think Jet Li is maybe 36 years old, and he's playing a student who's supposed to be like 21. And you probably think he was. You know, it's totally believable.
Oh yeah.
So here's
Oh,
the neighbor
there we
kid. He's so annoying. Oh, he's so annoying. But whatever. Oh, so you're number one. There we go. Right off. Danny Chan.
Popping wheelies there.
Yeah. Give him a Game Gear. Does he do it right here? Yeah, just happens to have the Game Gear in his back pocket.
Give him like 1,000 batteries for that thing.
He doesn't even have a game, so we're gonna see him playing it without a game.
Yeah, there's no game in there.
While they play, like it seems like the simplest thing. Like the props department, couldn't you just stick a game in there? Any game? This is, but no. And plus, you'll get like the random stock video game sounds, like beep boop boop beep, while he's playing it. But again, this movie. I mean, one thing Vancouver does have in abundance is like its own Chinatown, and a lot of Chinese businesses and establishments and stuff. So that's one thing where it can mirror the Chinatown of parts of New York.
Sure.
So here's Bill's market, which he really wants to sell, and it becomes apparent right off because of all the crime in the neighborhood and the protection racket being run. There's also later, once he fights off some thugs here, he has one of my favorite like lines that I probably sound racist when I imitate it, but I just love his pronunciation on it, where he says that I'll beat you up each time, but just sort of the way he slurs the words together, it sounds really funny to me. Oh, that's not the auntie. That's Mrs. Chung. What do you see, the wife? Or the fiance? There she is.
Yeah.
There's your aunt.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, she's great. It's Kyung's introduction to a strong black woman.
She is speaking English, I imagine.
Yeah, as I said, whoever, like most of the people in this movie are speaking English. It's only like a couple, because there's only a few Chinese people from China that are speaking. Those two, they're speaking Cantonese, but
they just dub them.
Yeah, I mean everybody gets dubbed anyway. Even the people that are speaking English get.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because that's just how they do it. So that's Anita Mui, who was a huge Cantopop star. So in the 80s and 90s, like she was called like the Madonna of the East. So It's kind of crazy that she accepted like this little sort of comedic role. Like it's hard to imagine somebody like Madonna, who was in movies, being in a role like this, where her main job is just sort of to be like made fun of and humiliated. I don't know if you remember that she has a particularly humiliating moment in this movie, but we'll come to it. Tragically, she passed away in 2003. She was only 40.
Oh, wow.
She had cervical cancer, and it ran in the family because 3 years before that, her own sister died of it, also at the age of 40. So
wow,
very sad. But she still has legions of fans. She's a big pillar of the Cantopop world. She was known for having sort of a different sort of vocal range, and also being a little. The Madonna of the East thing wasn't just like some made up junk either. Like she was apparently pretty audacious when it came to costumes and the way she acted on stage. Which again, you have to remember, in China, it was a much more conservative place. So she definitely stood out for those reasons. So I think it's pretty cool that she did a movie like this. It's not much of a part, and she's mostly in here to be kind of humiliated, but she's a great
double-sided mirror here.
Yeah. It gets worse for Jackie, or Young, as we'll say. Yeah. So here they are negotiating the sale. She's going to buy the. She's going to buy the market. Somebody's there. Oh,
No,
Ben, thank you for
no,
joining us.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, he's not technically picking his nose. People say he's picking his nose, but it seems like
he's,
he's trying to do something like about a pimple or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which also isn't good. She's totally distracted by it, as one would be. Trying to negotiate here.
Yeah, I still can't believe he's 40. God damn.
Yeah.
I need to go to the gym. Jesus.
I know. I mean, that's part of the reason why, like, I've been in the mood for martial arts movies lately. I'm trying to get inspired because I haven't been too active the last few months, and I've used all sorts of excuses. I want to get out and moving again and do some of my own martial arts, because I've really let that lapse over the last couple of years. I mean, the difference
Yeah.
is Jackie's been training nonstop his whole life, but
Right.
this is where he realizes, oh shit, the mirror.
I think the comedy is stuff you don't remember from these movies.
Right. I
He's
mean,
such a
because
great.
some of it's not good, but some of it's just so charming. It's not exactly clever or witty, but it's funny anyway. I don't know. Like when we get around to doing the Lucky Stars movies, like which are fully for the Hong Kong audience, like no, like the comedy in that is so painfully bad, and some of it is also because it's dated. Because it's the same thing, and we watch
Yeah.
some of those '80s comedies that don't hold up, but it's even worse. And I think it's just because certain things don't translate and different sensibilities. Jackie said himself, like he never really understood the humor of the Rush Hour movies. Like he didn't really get that.
No, I'm totally with him.
Yeah, but the difference is you understand where it's at least supposed to be funny.
Right.
Chris Tucker says some stupid thing, you don't maybe find it funny, but you get why that's the joke. Like Jackie wouldn't even like get why that was the joke in some things, I guess.
Yeah. Those movies are pretty racist, actually.
I know. In some ways they're great because they do break down some barriers, but at the same time they do it but with a lot of stereotypes and stuff. So I love this gang.
They've got the gang, yeah.
So it's a little bit like they look like they're from like fucking Road Warrior. Like Mad Max. Like a
Uh-huh.
Mad Max gang in the middle of the Bronx.
Oh man, he's got a onesie on there.
Yeah.
Like almost like a wrestling thing, which you would wear.
So there's Angelo. That's Canadian stuntman Garvin Cross. And there is the beautiful um, Nancy, as played by Canadian actress Francois Yip. And I forgot to point her out because she's been in a few movies like this. And a while ago, I did a solo thing for Romeo Must Die. And I forgot to point out that she's in that. She's actually in the motorcycle fight scene. It's this scene where Jet Li and Aaliyah are trying to escape and they get attacked by a few people on motorcycles. And one of them turns out to be a female, and it's her. And he won't fight her. So he basically uses Aaliyah like a puppet to fight her back. Anyway, that's Francois Yip he's fighting. For instance, now Francois Yip is Canadian, so she speaks English all throughout this movie. But, well, of course, she's of Chinese heritage, and she's done numerous Hong Kong movies. She was also in Black Mask with Jet Li, although I don't remember that because it's been too long since I've seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in a long time.
But for people that are more used to some of the movies that we talk about in other areas, she's part of the Alien versus Predator franchise. She's in both Alien versus Predator Requiem and later The Predator, where she plays I can't remember the first name, but Yutani. It explains where the Yutani company comes from. She's the CEO of Yutani. Because remember it was Wayland and it was Wayland Yutani?
Yeah.
That's her. So in that she's playing a Japanese American woman, I guess. So she doesn't do any in this movie, but I mean, according to like what she does in some of the Jet Li movies, she obviously has at least a little martial arts training, because she does do some martial arts scenes, but not in this movie. In this movie, she's a damsel in distress, eye candy type. Oh yeah, he jumped out to protect his uncle's car. Welcome to New York.
Man. I'm dressed like a baby. Let me in.
Wedding.
Oh, it's the wedding. Okay.
Pretty big wedding. Big wedding party. Nice of her to come to the wedding. Elaine.
Man, so they're both dead, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, he lived to a pretty decent age, but yeah, she was only 40.
Yeah. Cervical cancer is no joke.
I like how Kyung just gets roped into
Wow.
all this. Like, see, there is a shot of New York.
Yeah. I
They
was
have
going to
some
say
shots of New York for maybe some stock footage or something.
that is the skyline there.
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
I haven't tried that in a long time. Sure, I couldn't do it. Sure, I couldn't do it now. I love how they're like wearing the same thing. Like, if I know Kyung, he's got some woman in there. Like, I don't think you know Kyung.
Yeah.
He's not exactly a lady killer. We're off to our cult meeting or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
we're going to Jonestown.
Yeah. Don't wait up. Here comes the Dune Buggy gang. I love the wardrobe. Too good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what inspired this exactly. It reminds me mostly of like Mad Max. Especially how one of them's like driving like a weird dune buggy thing around New York.
Yeah.
There's Flea. Okay, it's not really Flea, but it could have been.
Is that all like ramen noodles right there? Like cup of noodles?
Yeah, I think so.
Might as well be Flea.
Yeah,
He's played that part in so many movies.
exactly. Rude punk.
Yeah.
He's in well, he's only briefly because I think he gets killed, but he's in like the Obi-Wan show.
Oh,
So it's
really?
neat to think that like he's in the Star Wars universe. Because I have a very specific ideas about what actors fit in and don't, but he's pretty good. I like him. Tower of Pepsi, that's going down.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of that kind of takes me out of it. Like, I know Brian Posehn, is that his name? Was in the Mandalorian.
Oh, which guy's that?
Uh, like a just a big weird nerdy guy, like a comedian.
Oh, Bill Burr's in it.
Yeah, Bill Burr. Yeah, kind of took me out of it too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fine. It's just like I know who that is, you know.
Yeah, I would have. I don't hate him or anything, but I would have
Yeah,
preferred someone. I would have preferred someone else.
yeah.
Here we go. You got a problem?
¿Qué pasa? would imagine that would be a very illegal knife in New York.
Oh yeah.
It's
I
quite a
don't think
large
there's much
blade.
legal about their bikes or dune buggies either.
That's true.
That guy gets hit in the nose a lot. That's like a running gag.
Oh man, he's got a fucking Bowie knife.
Oh, look at that. I mean, I know all martial artists say, like, if somebody has a knife, like, it's not worth it. Don't, don't fight them. But I always think that's the move right there, where he does like where he does the crescent kick to knock the knife out, and then he reverses and just does the spinning back kick. I'm like, that would work, wouldn't it? But I'm like, I don't know. I shouldn't try it.
I wish I had done more, but I did very little training with that. How to defend a knife.
Yeah, because there's like holes and stuff, like you can like grab their wrist.
Right, exactly.
Turn it against them. Fucking camera.
Yeah, I don't know why I was doing that.
Yeah, it's just been temperamental tonight.
Huh.
Here we go. I'll beat you up each time. I just love how he says that. Total respect to Jackie. I just enjoy that line.
So he did dub himself in this one?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
In like most of the 90s ones, he dubbed himself. I love this guy. Such a fear. Speaking of stereotypes. How many races are getting offended by this performance? Yeah. Like several at once.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to talk during the fight scene, but I remember those old the Pepsi can.
Yeah.
That old style.
Actually, I have a Crystal Pepsi that I was going to drink during this. Speaking of 90s throwback, but I've had a rough night, feeling really gaggy, and I've thrown up a few times, so it's best to leave. Like, not a lot, but just a little.
Yeah, I saw Ryan had picked up some of those as well on Twitter.
So this is just the beginning of true humiliation. She gets way more than this.
That's pretty unrealistic, I think. Her being pulled up by the fence there. But.
Like all grocery bags, it has to have a baguette sticking out of it.
Yeah.
That's just how you do grocery. It's always a grocery bag. It's always a paper bag with a big baguette, no matter where you are in the world.
And it says baguette on it, so you know what it is.
I like the brand name. It's a baguette brand baguettes. Thank you very much, prostitution.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is a trap. It's a trap, you idiot. It's a trap, says Admiral Akbar. Don't you know that that's the same girl you saw? That's her gang, dummy.
So all of this is fake graffiti right here?
I don't know what specific parts, but I mean, I at least most of it is, yeah. And then they had to remove it and they were done.
What's he holding up for a badge? Like his wallet, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's just his wallet. Oh. I mean, maybe it's informed by stuff like maybe Double Dragon or something. You know, the punks kind of look like that and stuff like Double Dragon or Streets of Rage. It's exaggerated street punks. Like, what is that guy wearing? That guy would look weird even if he was a wrestler.
Oh man, yeah. What's that guy wearing? He's missing his shirt.
It's not even a half shirt. Like half shirt doesn't. Oh, look at that. That's a great stunt fall.
Oh man.
Nice handless cartwheel.
So that's a set, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I figure, yeah. It must be.
Man.
Look at this guy. He looks like he's being Conan the Barbarian.
I think of what's the guy with the big head in Double Dragon?
Oh, Bobo or whatever.
A Bobo, yeah.
Or Bobo, yeah, something Bobo. Yeah. Oh, like this gets pretty dark right here. You remember what they're gonna do?
I don't. I haven't
Oh,
seen this. I don't think in like 20 years. So
yeah. This is pretty dark. It's funny too because later they kind of downplay the gang because the idea is like once that syndicate gets involved, the idea is like they're the killers. Like the gang's just a harmless gang, but they aren't so harmless here. Watch what they do to them. Okay, so it's not Angela that has the weird voice.
so they came after him
Yeah,
because of
that.
what
Yeah,
he did earlier.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's why. And I mean, what's interesting is Angela was ready to just shoot him right there, and it didn't seem like the girls cared. But later, like as this goes on, the girls are like, "That's not cool," including our heroine Nancy, who was the main. You know, she tricked him. See, they're kind of like, "This isn't good." Like, are you guys surprised? Like, it's a wild
Oh,
gang of lawless hooligans that run around just beating people up at random and attacking stores and stuff.
they've got a montage of them getting ready to mess him up.
Yeah,
Oh, I do remember this.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty dark compared to the rest of the movie. Although this movie also has somebody get like fed into like a wood chipper thing, like a la Fargo.
Yeah.
So I mean, for sort of a lighthearted martial arts comedy, it has some strong dark moments like this. I mean, there's nothing that can get him out of this either. It's not like something's going to save him or he's going to be able to do anything. I mean, you'd have so much like glass embedded in you. That's not good. Now your head is exposed.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they fake that. Like, obviously, because I mean, that's not CGI. So I wonder what they use there.
Don't they make glass out of sugar? Isn't it instead of using salt, they use
Yeah,
sugar and it
there's
like
a lot of
breaks?
sugar glass, particularly in the first Police Story movie. Remember, it's full of
Mm.
that. But in some ways, you can still really get cut on it.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's not like it's perfectly.
but it's not as hard, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's made to break easily, but it's not like it's totally safe either, right? Like you guys are
Right.
losers. You're just figuring this out now, ladies.
Uh-huh.
You wrecked the party. We were having fun torturing him, but you took out the gun to kill him. And I mean, he still could do it, but he's just like, he's suffering enough, I guess.
God, he's glass everywhere.
I know. So, I mean, realistically, he should be like in a hospital for like weeks after this, instead of up and fighting. There's Nancy, and we're about to find the big twist is, oh, that's her brother,
Oh,
and they don't have
no
parents.
game. Still
Yeah,
no game in there.
yeah. Beep boop. There's
Yeah,
that though.
that's a hard thing to miss, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not one of those people that always notices every little mistake in a
Yeah.
scene, but yeah, like that, it's pretty glaring.
I mean, if you play games at all, you
Yeah,
looking right at it, you know?
yeah. Right. So they don't have parents, so she's his legal guardian. And she
Oh, okay.
runs around at night with a crazy street gang. She's not a very good guardian.
He's not gonna roll away.
I also love like how like he points out a couple times to Kyung like how hot his sister is. She's like, she's really pretty. Fuck your support. Oh yeah, this whole thing about the cushion, which is how they tie it into the diamond heist thing.
My butt hurts.
Can't feel my legs, but I can feel my butt.
Yeah. Those damn Game Gears, man, they ate batteries like crazy.
Yeah. That was the price of color in those days. Like Game Boy doesn't have color, and they were right. It doesn't, but You paid a lot for it. I never had a Game Gear, but I used to. I remember I had friends at elementary school that would
I
take
mean,
it, and we'd
it was a great,
play it like at
great,
recess.
yeah, it was a
Play it
great
at recess and
system,
stuff.
but
I
man,
think
I
that's the
had to.
first one. I think that's the first way I played Mortal Kombat. I think I played a Mortal Kombat 2 port on that before I actually played it on the Genesis Super Nintendo. I think. It's hard to remember now. So
It's
Jamie,
got
thank you.
the red blood.
Yeah, that was the hook there.
Yeah, I had it on the Game Gear and the Genesis at the time.
Another
Two towers.
stock
Twin
shot of New
towers.
York. Like it's New York. I know it looks like Vancouver, but look, this proves it's New York.
Yeah, really.
There, next shot will be the Empire State Building. You know, it's just showing us all the random
Proof.
landmarks, so that we know for sure. And so far, it's not too bad. But we're gonna get into the scenes where it's pretty obviously not New York. Like for now, you can buy it.
Uh-huh.
I love how they had nothing for him except like a bath towel. Like nothing. I mean, I get it. She's a woman. He's a little kid, but you think they'd have something he could put on. Like, doesn't your sister have like a bathrobe? No, she walks around naked. It's like, oh, that's super hot, but damn,
She's
did
21
it.
and
She's
pretty.
pretty. And I guess he does the eyebrow thing from Macaulay Culkin too. I guess that was the playbook, right? This kid's like, I'm gonna be a
Yeah.
big child star. I'm gonna do all the stuff Macaulay Culkin did. I'm sorry it didn't work out, kid.
She made you a BLT.
Like, it seems like only his arms got cut. I mean, he should
Yeah.
have cuts pretty much everywhere. But
His face was squirting blood.
look, there's Jack Skellington. I'm surprised Disney didn't sue them for all they were worth for that
Oh,
2-second shot of their character. Look at this. As soon as he comes outside. I mean, Jesus Christ. They just spent last night nearly putting him in a coma. He steps outside and it's the same damn gang. Let's get him again! And destroy all the property around us.
Yeah. Damn,
Oh,
popcorn.
Popcorn, ding, ding, ding. It's a quote from the last movie I did a commentary on, Gross Point Blank. Also, like, everybody knows, like, Jackie jumping onto the hovercraft broke his ankle. But
Mhm.
apparently several performers got quite injured doing some of these motorcycle stunts, too.
Really?
Yeah, several people, like, broke bones and things like that.
Man,
So
I don't know
it's
how
not just
he's.
Jackie. It's not just Jackie who puts his body on the line in these movies. I mean, him first and foremost, but other people too.
I don't know how he scales walls like that. It's so insane. Just like do, and goes all the way up, you know?
He's basically the godfather of parkour.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
like he actually got hit by the mirror. Again, you can't fake that.
right.
He got hit by the mirror, which I mean,
Probably hurts more than he's showing right now.
like so the movie theater downtown has like one of these parking structures attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I walk to it, I usually enter through it. So like I almost always think of this scene whenever I'm in it. I think of Jackie jumping around on cars, getting chased, and hopping over fences and stuff. So that's one way where this movie's always in my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Up is a way out.
Oh man. Yeah,
Yeah.
again, you can't fake this.
No,
I mean,
it's just him doing it. Like maybe they've got some mats way down below, but it would still be a
that's
hell of a fall if he fell.
wow.
He does an insane jump at the end of this, and again, it's just a real jump where he's going to do a jump onto a fire escape, and it's crazy. You'd think if anywhere he got hurt, it was there, but it's not.
Yeah, he broke his foot
So
or
look, there
his
we go. There's
ankle.
some mountains. See them?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So the mountains of Manhattan. We can see New Jersey in the distance, the majestic New Jersey mountains. I don't know. Love that guy's hat.
Whoa, yeah. That's a
It's a job,
interesting
man.
choice.
Get up, man.
with a
I think it's
tie-dye
tie-dye,
shirt
yeah.
and
Yeah.
nothing goes great with a rebel flag, tie-dye.
Oh, look at all his cool, like, and this is before Beanie Babies, so he's got all those little stuffed animals up on the dash. He had that before it was cool. There we go again. These Thor mountain shots. Uh, and that's the other thing. Jackie Chan movies deliver you things like that. But yeah, the jump he's about to make here is just incredible. I hate New York. Nice. Look, look at this. He's literally going to
Now,
drop his pants here. I love his
oh.
response to it though. It's pretty good. Well, if I'm going to die anyway, I might as well whip this guy. Love it. Oh, we give the
Give him the
international. Look at this. Oh,
God damn,
that
dude.
is terrifying. I love it. They have the appropriate reaction to it though. Can't believe this guy, which is that's featured prominently in the trailer. I believe you, Jamie. Because the thing is, some people are like, it's not Jackie Chan, it's just some random Asian guy. You're racist. But I'd, yeah, I mean, I'd know Jackie if I saw him.
Of course.
So here's the I don't know what they are, but there's some badass crime syndicate, and there's this whole plot about diamonds, which is just used to escalate things. Oh, they even say fuck. Wow. Yeah, so this is an interesting movie tone wise. Like it has all the hallmarks of like a lighthearted Jackie Chan martial arts comedy, but it gets pretty dark, and that guy just dropped an F bomb, and so there's our main bad guy. That's what he turned out.
Yeah, I don't have the sound on. Are these guys Jamaican?
Yeah, or something.
Okay.
So the bad guy is named White Tiger.
Or Haitian or something?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, Caribbean, that area, I
Mm.
suppose. Whew, she was a looker.
Mm-hmm. What's up,
The other
Jake?
thing, I get that they're like all in the same neighborhood, but it's amazing how they just constantly run into each other.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. So yeah, White Tiger betrays the other gang.
Oh, damn.
It doesn't skimp on the collateral damage. There's no big car chase in this movie like some Jackie Chan movies, but there's still some good stuff with cars. I like the Bart Simpson shirt too. It is firmly in the 90s. Yeah, so they just stumble upon this. I don't know what's going on, but let's rip them off because that's who we are. That guy's massive. Yeah, so they're trying to establish like they're small timers compared to these guys in suits. These
Right.
guys are the real deal. Willing to just open up with automatic weapons on the public street.
Yeah.
But the diamonds are missing. Yeah, that guy. The guy with the stupid like ponytail. God,
Yeah, there
he's
he is.
huge. They even got a grenade to take care of it. But that was a big part of like the '90s. Was you had like henchmen, big henchmen with ponytails. I mean, Jackie fights one of those in movie maybe the last one we did together, City Hunter. Fights one of those guys. I also forgot to point out that the main bad guy in that McDonald that he has that crazy fight with, that's famous Australian martial artist Richard Norton. He was in all sorts of awesome movies and lots of great fight scenes. And that wasn't technically his only fight with Jackie either, even though he often talks like it was, because he has a brief fight with Jackie in the third Lucky Stars movie, Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars. You're in trouble now, Angelo. What's on the seat there? Is that Dragon Ball?
I couldn't see.
It was fast, so I couldn't tell.
Is that where he put it? He put it in the seat?
Yeah, he put it in in the cushion. There, so that's going to be the whole thing. Is he hid the diamonds there? They've got it in the cushion.
Looks like a Penn from Penn and Teller.
It's interesting though, because I can't think of other Jackie Chan movies of this era or anything. Like First Strike or Mr. Nice Guy or anything where people use the F word.
Mm-hmm.
This stands out a little. Is a bit unique from that perspective. Yeah, they threw the guns out the window. They're pros. They've been all through this. They know the cops can't hold them.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people were yelling stuff.
I was really into Jackie Chan, from this movie and through the the 90s.
Yeah,
I watched all the stuff in the theater. That even though it was not all in order of how it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I had to find out years later that Operation Condor came out in '91, and it was the sequel to Armor of God, and it was technically Armor of God 2. And what's funny is that they released Armor of God over here afterwards. So Armor of God 2 was now Operation Condor 1 or whatever. They flipped them around.
Yeah, it's confusing as hell to me. Yeah, how it's actually supposed to be. But
so there's the thing. She has a new cushion, but the old cushion has the diamonds in it. Oh, damn.
very, very childish room for an adult woman.
Yeah.
Eat my shorts.
See, she's a flight attendant and a model. No, and no.
Yeah, no to both.
She dances in cages at scuzzy 90s clubs. And her friends are all gang members.
Jets, New York. That's how you know we're in New York.
Yeah, there's a lot of those hitting us over the head. We swear it's New York. But this is where she starts to reevaluate her life. Jackie's like, oh shit. For God's sakes, put some clothes on, Nancy.
Damn.
Yeah, see, once again, isn't she pretty? Open up. Give her a shot of the cleavage.
Settle down, bud.
Your sister bumped into me the other day. By which I mean she entrapped me. Hit me in the junk. And then led her gang friends to torture me. Once again, I couldn't see
there's the diamonds.
Under the...
Yeah, I can't tell what that is on that pillow or that cushion.
Yeah. No, it wasn't the cushion itself. It was the part under it. Directly on the wheelchair, the part the cushion goes on. It almost looked like it was like Dragon Ball art or something like that. I'm just a tourist in this city.
I mean, it very well could be, but that's pretty early. And I mean, if it's supposed to be in America,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it hadn't actually been released over here at the time. What was it, like 96 or 97?
I thought it was after that. I mean, not see it till probably the 2000s.
No, it was definitely that, because I would remember I was in high school. And probably
late 90s. That's when I first saw it, I guess, on Adult Swim or something.
Yeah, here it was YTV.
Mm-hmm.
YTV, we got the first Dragon Ball, and then Dragon Ball Z about a year later, and of course Sailor Moon.
Mm.
And then after that, there was a nice flood, and actually...
Yeah, they really started putting them out after that.
And my favorite Gundam Wing. I love that. Actually, I was looking at the other day on Amazon. I really want to get it, because I've been watching the Macross stuff recently. It's made me hungry for Gundam Wing. I know a lot of like old school Gundam fans are like Gundam Wing is just for like noobs or whatever. But I don't know. I always loved Gundam Wing. That was one of the few shows I watched like religiously and was super into. That was on YTV. And that's where I first heard the name Hero, which I always thought like if I had like a kid or something, I would call them Hero from Hero Yui.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever watch Ronin Warriors?
That's no, you brought this up before, and it never aired anywhere for me. I looked up and found out what it was, but no, I never saw it.
That's like probably the first anime I ever watched, and I was really, really into it.
I mean, I watched several animes back before the boom in the '90s, just not knowing they were anime. Like I watched Voltron, and
Of course, yeah.
I watched the '80s Astro Boy. At the time, I
Mm-hmm.
did notice the names, but I didn't really
Mm-hmm.
think of it. It wasn't until like the mid '90s when they brought them over and
Yeah,
began my love
man.
affair with. Yeah, yeah. So here's her
Here we go.
job. They even got a tiger, so this club's not so scuzzy as I thought. They got a tiger.
Oh man.
I hope that's a
Oh,
real life band. I really
that's
do.
well, they enjoy it. That's a good band. They're having a good time.
My favorite like movie band, there's a tie, is like the one in The Crow with their weird like industrial shit sound, and the band in that I call the Dead Weasel Band in the Twin Peaks movie Fire Walk with Me. Man, that band was crazy.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that movie, so I
No,
probably forgotten it all.
yeah, there she goes. So she's a flight attendant slash model who dances in cages with tigers.
I'm not complaining.
Yes, the Pink Room Band, Jamie. I always call them the Dead Weasel Band because, like, one of them, like, for their guitar strap, it was like a minker or something down across, like, and you could actually see its head.
Oh wow.
They were so weird. It's been so long since I heard, but they played some sort of like weird sort of drone rock. I don't know, but they're one of my favorite like fictional bands because goddamn, they were strange. I mean, which lines up perfectly because Twin Peaks is weird as hell, of course, right? So it's perfect.
What
And
about the band
it's
from
when they like cross the border too, and one of the characters says to him, "It's like welcome to Canada," because like they just crossed the border and they're in like this Canadian bar, and that's the band that's playing.
what about the band from Dusk Till Dawn?
Oh yeah, that like Mexican
The
band,
I mean, it's a real band, like
some
Tito's
sort of like Mexican metal
something.
band or
I
something.
forget. Yeah, I forget the name of it, but it's a
Yeah,
real band.
they all turn into vampires.
Yeah, he's like playing a guitar made out of like body parts at
And I
one
remember we
point.
talked about this. Remember AI, the shitty band there that turned out to be Ministry.
Oh, damn! Yeah.
They went to like the
Huh.
Flesh show or whatever, that thing where they're bashing the robots apart. There's some stupid like neon
Ministry.
colored band there. It was Ministry. They
That's
were a
funny.
future band. What's funny is for the Hong Kong release of this movie, they actually cut several scenes out entirely, including right here for some reason. This whole escape from the club thing. I don't know why they cut it, except maybe
Oh
she's too
wow.
revealing there. I don't know.
I want to rewind that.
But yeah, like a lot of like more than 10 minutes was cut for the Hong Kong release. I couldn't find any reasons why.
Are they very particular about any kind of nudity?
I mean, I think maybe it is because of content like that. I don't know.
I mean, it. I mean, she wasn't nude, obviously, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were a great band too. The Boardwalk Band and Lost Boys with Sexy Sax Guy.
oh shit, yeah.
I Still Believe song. Yeah, they might be the best. It's hard to top an oiled up Sexy Sax Guy in especially if you really pause to look at what he's wearing. He's not just wearing like leather pants, but he's got like a belt that has like all this stuff on. Like it's really intricate, the stuff. Speaking of costumes, so I love this. Like they just take them like they're nothing. Like this guy looks like he should be on like He-Man or something, and the guy in the suit just grabs and tosses him. Fucking punks. And they just decide to take their revenge on the store, I guess.
Man, the wardrobe.
Yeah. They just told him to go crazy, I guess, for the wardrobe. So, like, anything. Anything. Whatever you want. Oh, there's a wholesome little date. Tandem bike and pulling the kid in the wheelchair. Now that's wholesome. That's like a Wrigley's spearmint commercial.
Yeah. Double mint.
Yeah. I love those commercials with all the twins and stuff. just toss the paraplegic kid onto the pavement. It's like the most normal you'll see their clothes. It's like they're incognito so they can steal. But it's the wrong cushion, you idiots. He switched cushions.
Yeah, that guy's definitely from Double Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, so this gets really dark too. Watch what they do to him. They're just gonna feed him into that. Like they show him. They don't look like where are they? How far did they drive? Did they just drive for like 12 hours? Like now they're just out in the wilderness. Mountains again.
Oh shit.
Head first. Yeah, so I mean they don't
show it though.
Still, it does happen. And he does I won't spoil it, but he brings him back with a warning. So you'll see. And again, they don't show it, but the implication is there. Well, how's your investment working out? Are you happy with the store that you just bought? Now that you're your own boss and running your own business?
Her technique of drinking a beverage needs some work. She spilt that everywhere.
I think that is part of the character because she's, kind of losing it at this point.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say I have a thing for twins, Jamie. Honestly, I just remember being a kid and being amused by scenes of twins. I mean, it's hard to imagine not having a thing for twins if it's like you're gonna go that far, but I mean, that's not really real life. Like, it's not like if you're gonna go out on a date, you're gonna date twins.
Right.
I mean, it'd be great. 2 of them, yes. And in that case, I have a thing for twins, but I just mean
it's more like a fantasy, I guess.
Yeah, I knew a few sets of twins growing up. One twin girls who were very pretty. One of them was like, as far as I know, Ryan's first crush.
Oh.
Their names were Katrina and Hannah Laura, and Ryan had a thing for Hannah Laura.
Oh wow! They went a different direction on the names there. Normally they do something stupid.
Yeah, they were in my grade 5 class.
Oh.
And then I think they moved away or something because they weren't around long.
Got us some Mohawks here. A New York Mohawk.
Yeah. Again, like it's just an anarchism stew. Like sometimes they look like the old school British 70s punks, and then sometimes they look like, I don't know, 80s like surf party guys, like I don't know. Like what you'd see at like a Red Hot Chili. Well, here's again weird. Like it's not kids, but we've seen this in so many movies in the '90s. Like the cool '90s hangout.
Yeah. Like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles. I love this speech. You're all garbage. Throws a bottle.
Yeah, I know about that. Man.
Blipped out for a second there.
That one girl's just wearing lingerie over there.
Yeah, because there's just no rules at these parties.
We're gonna smoke cigarettes and play video games.
I can't believe he thinks he can fight him one-on-one.
Yeah,
He's seen what he can do. I guess he just thinks he can't lose face in front of his gang. But he's watched this guy like be like a hurricane, beating up like 10 and 12 of his guys at once.
I don't think
we're gonna have our traditional gang fight on the pool table, as is tradition.
He wouldn't get a hit in.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't a bad roundhouse kick he threw. So I guess the idea is he's not completely unskilled, but he's really out of his league with Kyung. Oh, I love that. Right on the pinball machine. This guy is the Asian guy there with the hair. I mean, how many times has like he gotten like his ass kicked in this movie? Like 3 times already, and he's coming back for more. Oh, the fridge.
Typical Jackie. Is it Mr. Nice Guy when he uses the ladder?
No, that's First Strike, Police Story 4, which for many years was my favorite Jackie Chan fight.
I think that may still be my favorite Jackie movie. That or Condor.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping to get Condor soon. I throws the guy at the fridge. Oh, it's not a woman; it's a guy.
I thought it was a woman.
I thought it was a woman earlier too, which is why I just said it.
Oh wow, he went through the car.
Okay. I know. That's in the outtakes. You'll see him mess that up a few times.
I can imagine.
Oh, this.
Nope.
Cocktail. But Jackie won't hit him with a bottle because he's not that kind of guy.
Right.
I wish I could get a better look at some of these arcade machines.
I think they're very generic. Yeah. Dragon, I think that one was called.
They're getting busted up now.
I like a good pinball.
Oh, yeah. So we're about 55 minutes, 30 seconds in, if anybody's curious about a timestamp or just where we are in general in the movie. Skis? There we go.
Golf clubs. Ooh.
I could stab your throat, but I won't.
What is that he has there?
It's a ski.
That's a ski? Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Skis are long.
It's a big-ass ski, yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I was never a good skier. I felt they were too long. I couldn't control them.
Oh, man.
I think he holds the record for getting hit the most by Jackie in this movie.
All right. Pull a gun out. Ruin everything.
This is where he says, "Don't you know you're a scum of society?"
The one he keeps beating up looks just like Bobby Lee.
A little bit, yeah.
A little taller than Bobby Lee.
No, you are the scum of society. I like how his lectures seem to really work on these.
Why would he speak Cantonese? Oh, to her. Okay.
Yeah. And that guy actually knows it too, because he says, "What did he say?" Now, I assume Yip did know some Cantonese, but English was her native language, being Canadian. There it is. See, he brought his friend back in the garbage bag.
Oh, shit. Why would he do that?
Because they made him.
Oh, they made him.
Like to send the message that they want their diamonds. Yeah, so this is where they finally unite.
Oh, man.
A friend of mine got murdered. You know, that guy with the mohawk that tried to take your head off. I saw the same thing years ago, Jamie. It wasn't a gang, though. It was just one-on-one. And the weird part was, like, I actually even tried to intervene, and the duck that was that was the victim, wouldn't take the opportunity to leave, even though it was clearly not enjoying what was happening, and it even seemed like it was part injured. But, like, I eventually just had to give up. Because, yeah, one mallard kept violently raping another mallard. And I did try to stop it, but every time the other one, it never really ran away. It would only take a few steps and wait for the other one to catch up to it. So I was just like, fucking crazy nature. Yeah, so they were posing as the FBI. And ducks' penises are like coils.
Corkscrew.
Like corkscrew, yeah. I like ducks. That kind of ruins them for me. Always love ducks.
Yeah, ducks have a odd mating procedure. I think they basically rape. There's a lot of rape goes on.
Well, I think the one thing this movie lacks is he doesn't have like a cool like fight scene with one of the mooks. Really, I mean, he does fight them, but there's not like sort of a dragon mook. Although that guy again is huge.
Live fast, die young.
Hogs rule. My amazing cushion. You're
Don't.
right.
I need that for my butt.
It's the wrong cushion, you idiots. Listen, ponytail. I told you everything I know. Oh. Some fake ass jewelry. But the kid is stupid. He doesn't know.
Just carries him in there.
Yeah, there it is.
There's some like cubic zirconias in there.
Yeah, just some crappy fake ass jewelry.
You call these diamonds?
They're my sister's diamonds. You little. Like, I love how he's just so mad at the kid for not knowing. Stupid. Like he smacks him and everything. An 11-year-old should know better.
Bam. Oh.
Badass.
No. Not okay at all.
Yeah, he hits this guy a lot, but it doesn't make it. It's pretty funny. It takes some ideas. So he tries the helmet. He's like, wait a minute. Okay, that hurts. But I'm still a tough guy. Like, young, check this out.
Yeah, that's a typical.
Thanks for my. Okay.
Oh, okay.
$7 million or so.
How would he know?
Young knows the street value of
Yeah.
stolen diamonds. I don't know. It's I think they say his background is like, at least if you read things like on Wikipedia, it says like he is a cop in Hong Kong, but he doesn't act like a cop in the movie really. But if he was, I guess maybe that would be something he knows. But
I mean, I feel like if he was a cop, he wouldn't make some of the mistakes that he's made.
yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. So he thinks, get rid of the Chinaman. So who is this? This is the Chinaman. I'm the Chinaman. So that's pretty loyal of him. I just want my friends back. Your friends? Oh yeah, the gang that's been terrorizing me since I got here. They destroyed my friend's business, and they've tried to kill me multiple times. But they're my friends now.
Now they're all on the same side.
So there's the end of Danny. He's just getting in the way.
Oh,
Here,
good.
random cabbie, take this burden away. Bye, Danny. They got gloves on, so you know they're serious.
Yeah.
Like, we trashed the place pretty good, but once again, like, they have to be one-upped by these guys. It's like, yeah, they smashed it open, smashed it up a bit.
She's like, get the hell out of here. They keep fucking
she's
my
actually
store up because of you.
Yeah. Didn't we do a great job renovating? Okay, yeah. So her moment.
Oh, bad luck. Bad luck.
Yep. I guess that's good foreshadowing, because not only are things going to go awful for her, but also in a really humiliating way. You don't remember? So I guess you'll see it. As I said, I don't know how many like Western pop stars would be willing to put themselves in a scene like what she's going to go through. So I say she's a pretty good sport, because she was a big star. Maybe not Jackie Chan big, but she's a big star. I think she's right. I'm with her. Those fellows can die. Fuck them.
Right.
I I agree with her. Like I think I would be entitled to a couple diamonds after what I've been through. Uh-oh, you were follered. Yeah, she doesn't know them, so I guess that's fair. That she doesn't know that they feed people into wood chippers and such. So she's gonna go to the bathroom. Yeah. So once again, to one up the gang, it's like, yes, the gang messed this place up, but we're just gonna pull it down entirely. What happened to all the employees? I guess they just chased them out. They didn't even yell a warning. All right, back her up. Down we go. And it's kind of like a Jurassic Park moment, I guess. And then it all comes down, but not on her. So yeah, pretty good sport for it's like pull your pants up for God's sake. What is the big deal? I'll pay you back. Oh, sure you are. Yeah, she's finally lost it. I'll kill you, devil. So that was the straw. Because before that, she was pretty good natured about it, and she's like, "Oh, the renovation's coming along well," but she's had it. Jay wouldn't do that. I don't know if I lost Jay or if I blipped out.
I'm here.
Oh, I thought you were frozen. What is she looking for? Oh, the diamonds. Looking for diamonds.
I'll be right back.
Yep. Cool old school New York yellow cab. Now they're gonna work with the cops and do some sort of sting operation, and I'm sure it'll go really smoothly, as everything has so far. We'll get your friends back because we know they're fine, upstanding citizens. Ahab the Arab. that's that's how he guessed the mic. That's funny. I don't think I remembered that line. Are you insane? They do all sorts of stuff in public places. They don't give a shit. Yeah, there you go. What about them throwing that grenade? He knows what's up. They do not give a shit if it's in public. Hey, he's just trying to tell the man what he's walking into. to you. Yeah, he only brought one diamond, just to prove that he has them, I guess. Yeah, yeah, he does try to get them to admit to the robbery. So he, so this is the first time he does talk kind of like a cop. Oh, they don't want him mentioning the boss's name. Call their bluff. Oh, once again, they don't hide it here at all. I mean, I get it. This would be outside of New York, but again, how far outside is it to have a golf course like this? You must take golf seriously. Anybody that wears one of those stupid Scottish beret, complete with tartan on it, must be really serious about golf. Rich bad guys often are. Yeah, I don't trust people that are that into golf. I mean, it was established in Goldfinger. You know, Goldfinger was a rich bad guy that really liked golf. Yeah, that seems safe. Oh, well, they know what they're doing. It's kind of an artistic shot there with the starfish and everything. Way to go, Stanley Tong. You're putting on gloves. That's not a good sign. Oh, they just say out loud, "Yeah, we'll kill him." I don't remember this bit too well. It's not that long. He gets out pretty quick. Oh, the cop actually saves him. Oh, hope he was wearing his vest. Yeah, he clearly was. Well, he's sitting up. I don't know. Never been shot before. I don't know. We have to go hundreds of miles to the Bronx. Now they got lots of hostages. Is this the hovercraft? Oh yeah. Always have to something unique for the finale in one of Jackie's movies. In this, we get a hovercraft chase. Bridge, hovercraft. He climbs that pole very well. You'd be a good sailor, Jackie. It's kind of one of the things that disappoints me about the Project A movies. Is like technically he's like Coast Guard in that, and they do fight pirates, but there's actually very little stuff dealing with the pirates and the water and boats and stuff. It's not till like the very end of those movies. So here's the jump, and this is the actual shot. The same, yeah. He broke his ankle right there on that shot. It's not like I guess it was probably the first take, so they had to use it. It looks fine. So, and of course, since they didn't shoot the movie, in order, there were scenes in this movie where Jackie was just doing it with the broken ankle, and they did the whole thing with the paint and stuff to hide the boot or the cast that his foot was in. And his foot hadn't even fully healed when he went and did his next film, Thunderfold, because Jackie Chan's a goddamn legend. That must be really uncomfortable. Water skiing without skis. Get rid of it. I mean, don't you guys know that you've like at this point the bad guys have lost, but they just won't surrender. Like they shoot at the helicopter enough to get it to back off, but still, that's only a short-term solution. Lots of rainbow shots. Ooh. I wonder for that shot that he's anything under him, or if he really is. I guess there isn't because he just jumped up there. Wow, can't really think of another movie where somebody does that. Just gets dragged behind, at least for that long. Well, it's the bad guys themselves that drive it up onto the land. For some reason, I thought because I mean Jackie Kyung eventually gets control of it. I didn't realize, but I thought he was the one that brought it onto land. But no, they did it. Another helicopter, cop cars, and yet these guys just won't give up. Shoot the tires, Lou. It's a tank, Chief. I'm so tired, sick of you and your excuses. That's a pretty impressive sandcastle. Unfortunately, it's getting wrecked. It just launches. But I mean, you would have to. I mean, in a situation like that, you would have to. You could say, "Oh, tossing the kid," but I mean, if he didn't, the kid gets flattened with him. Although, as you see, getting flattened by that isn't so bad. It's not like getting run over by a car. Also, for people that are really astute, if you paid attention to some of the uh, letters and numbers and shit on the helicopters, it's clear that they're not like New York. But anyway, come to the end here. What's interesting about this is like the whole like final act part is not Jackie doing any fighting. It's just like a big chase, which I guess is one of the reasons why I still really like the movie. But and of course the movie doesn't lack for fight scenes or anything, but doesn't have like any like really one great definitive fight. That guy just gets out of his wheelchair. It's a miracle he can walk. I just mean, and I mean, I appreciate all this stuff. This is madness. This is great. But my favorite Jackie movies usually feature like at least one really definitive fight, like in Wheels on Meals or Dragons Forever or even Gorgeous, where it's like Jackie against sort of like one or two really skilled opponents. They got the license plate right anyway. No, that cop has not lost his cigar. Sort of doing an Ernie Hudson impersonation. Speaking of the, oh right, yes, uh, rich asshole in his like Lamborghini or whatever. Love it. He can afford to fix it. Oh, once again, here's like some sort of like like what is this band? And who are these punkers? I'm not saying they don't exist in the '90s, but yeah, the movie's just an anarchism stew as far as stuff like that goes. So here's like yet another like punk band performance. That's not gonna work.
Cigar's not intact anymore.
Like some people there are like in animal costumes. What is going on? And there's some sort of like weird store full of medieval stuff. Look, suits of armor, and Jackie runs to get the weird serrated sword. Like I don't know what the hell that sword.
Oh,
Look at this band.
Oh, they're going. They're going.
They're hardcore. The band played on. Oh yeah, he actually drives it.
Okay.
Oh, all those off-brand mascots are pissed off.
Yeah.
That is very New York, off-brand mascots. I saw plenty when I was there. Mostly in Times Square, but still, they're in other places. You can't like go afoot without getting accosted by some off-brand mascot in Times Square.
Trying to get money from you.
Yeah, like take a photo with me for money.
Yeah.
There were some legit, pretty good looking ones there too, though. I have to say, there were some, good ones. But certain ones they can't do the thing without getting like sued.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a good bit about that in one of the first episodes of whatever, The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, where she and Titus, like Titus is there, I think trying to do like a Lion King one, but he has to like change the suit so that he doesn't get sued. The cops are pretty cool. Are pretty cool to Kyung about this part, because it's just like, okay, we know where White Tiger is. Now we can move in and arrest him. Jackie's like, you know what? I'd feel better if I could just like take this and run him over myself. Hey, Tony. Yeah, see, they're like, well, the cops are part of this. They're like, go ahead, Kyung. He's at hole 17. Go run the fucker over. We can always arrest him afterwards. Yeah, the real FBI.
We know he's FBI because...
Yeah, who would have known the FBI were such good sports? They're like, go ahead, drive it. I mean, I get it. He deserves this, but it's hard to imagine the FBI being like, yeah, sure, go for it. Shoot it. It somehow takes all his clothes.
He's patched it up with duct tape, looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, hovercrafts aren't a thing like they were back then.
No. There you go.
Oh, wow.
That was full of grass for it, too. Yeah. Freeze frame. Oh. And now we get... So this is...
oh, man.
For the North American release here, instead of Jackie's traditional him singing some cantopop song, we get Irish band Ash with the song Kung Fu. And I wish I'd paid more attention, because Ash is one of those bands I would have loved back then that I missed out on. They didn't get play around here or anything like that, but I listen to them now and I love them. Sometimes they get lumped in with the Britpop movement, but it's not right, especially considering they're from Northern Ireland, so they really wouldn't appreciate being called that. But it's a fun song, the Jackie Chan song. Yeah, they rhymed Daniel-san with Taiwan.
Was that his foot right there? Was that the foot?
In the movie, you missed it, but in the movie, the take they use is where he breaks his ankle, because I guess it's the only take they did. So in the movie, you actually see him break his ankle. Get the song going.
Oh, wow. She got hurt.
Yeah. So said, yeah, see, quite a few of the motorcycle stunts yielded some serious injuries.
I can imagine.
Must be so hard doing takes over for that. Like, how many of those things do they have? Like that, they just busted that one. They're gonna have to get a new one.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, look at
Oh, got
that
him.
on the tank.
Got him.
Oh, Swansky. Yeah, I'm alright. That jump is incredible. That's, I think, the most impressive thing he does in the movie is that jump.
Man.
Like the guts to do that. I mean, he misses. He's dead.
Right. Right.
I don't know what precautions they could have done for that. Oh, look at the cool
Oh,
like
I
fake.
love this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good thing they made.
Yeah.
Because it hold. I mean, close up, yeah, you can tell, but I mean, during the movie, you don't really notice. So Garvin Cross, that's the Canadian stuntman who was at D'Angelo with the other guy. Oh, no, he was D'Angelo. It wasn't. Yeah, Tony's the other guy. Tony and Angelo. And the X-Men. There's even an X-Men reference in this. Daniel San, Fu Manchu, Jackie Chan. Yeah, that's it. He had some trouble with that, as you can imagine. The shopping cart. My shoe. Life was ruined with a green dragon flavor. And that's how they usually end. So nice thumbs up from Jackie. So there you go. 1995's Rumble in the Bronx. Always a good time. Very fun movie. As I said, probably I think the second Jackie Chan movie I ever saw. So always has a place in my heart. It's as I said, it's been displaced by other movies over the years for me as I've found out more about his earlier stuff. And I think it's one failing is that it doesn't really have any like really great memorable fight scene. But well, that's cool. Holiday Styles, yeah. I didn't find out about Ash's existence until way later. Like they just didn't get play. Like some of those other, even though they weren't Britpop, because like over here, the only Britpop bands that got like a lot of exposure were like Oasis and Blur. But yeah, top five. Ben, that is difficult. I mean, off the top of my head is hard, but I'd have to like Legend of Drunken Master is there, Police Story, possibly Police Story 3, Super Cop. I really do like it, and I'm just so in love with what's her name now? I can't remember anybody's names, but you know who I mean. Michelle Yeoh. So what was I saying? So it'd be like Police Story, maybe Police Story 3, Super Cop, Legend of Drunken Master. Well, what could be the other two? Let me think. What else there is? I mean, I do love Wheels on Wheels has that legendary fight, but I don't. Is anything within reach? That'll make me think of. I have a few Jackie Chan movies next to me, but no. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's definitely top three, but I'm not sure what the other two would be. Oh, Armor of God. I love Armor of God. That's up there. This isn't top five, but the one I most recently watched, I didn't do a commentary for it. I just watched it, which I think is super underrated because it was at the time he was in the '90s when he was releasing stuff over here, but I don't think it got. It was Who Am I? Who Am I is one of his most underrated movies. I own the DVD of it. I love that fucking movie. But so I don't know. Maybe Who Am I is top five. I don't know. It's hard to say. Trying to think of some of his more old school kung fu ones. Like The Young Master is very good. If you haven't seen that, I don't like the original Drunken Master as much as most people, but obviously it's very good. Snake and Eagle's Shadow is maybe the first one where he starts to be kind of like the style that his
Mhm.
individual style, because he was in movies before that, but it was before like he really started, assert himself and show off his style, things like that. Shanghai Noon, the tuxedo. No and no. The tuxedo is almost unwatchable. It's so bad. Shanghai
That's
Noon isn't very good, but at least you can watch it. But the tuxedo is just garbage. It's one of the worst
I
things
don't
he's ever done.
I don't like a lot of his American movies.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't even. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I know that's kind of where he gained popularity, but
Yeah,
here
yeah. For me, like
more in
all
the
his
West,
best stuff was like end of the '70s through end of the '90s. But
like Rush Hour.
yeah,
I'm
I
not
like
much
Rush
of a movie
Hour, and I
guy.
like what it did for his career and everything. And there's a
Yeah,
lot, and it's pretty good. But no, it doesn't. It does not rank. I mean, and it's not even his fault. I mean, by then he's in his mid 40s. Not that like he seems to have slowed down. He still does some really incredible stuff right up into like the early 2000s. But so yeah, I mean, definitely Police Story. I like Police Story 2 an awful lot too. I'm not trying to like disparage it. I love all four police stories. They're all so good. Like they could be like four of the top five. For the longest time, for before I, got access to some of his older movies, First Strike was my favorite, which is the fourth police story. That was my favorite. That's another one like this one. I still like it and have a lot of fondness for it, but it's dropped down just because of other stuff I've seen. But that's another great movie, and that was really the one because, as I said, it was probably the third movie of his I saw. I rented Super Cop. I saw this on video, and then the first one I saw in theaters was First Strike, and that was the one that converted me. That's when I, like you, I became all about Jackie Chan. I got really into doing parkour and stuff, and
hmm
I just loved him. But yeah, so I mean, the Police Story series is so good. Those four. I mean, then there's New Police Story, and then Police Story 2004 or 2013. There's two. I get them mixed up. One's from 2004, one's from 2013. I forget which one is which. The 2004 one is really dark and actually like full of death, and the 2013 one, as you would imagine, by now he's a bit older, um, so he's not doing too much in it. But it's still a pretty good story. It shows how his acting has evolved, how his acting's pretty good by that point. Yes, Operation Condor is Armor of God too, but they flipped the releases over here. Yeah, I've seen Kung Fu Yoga. It's okay. It's okay for its era. But the Zodiac, Chinese Zodiac is the unofficial third part of that. Like it goes Armor of God, Operation Condor, and then Chinese Zodiac is sort of an unofficial trilogy. Obviously, Chinese Zodiac is probably his last hurrah. The last time he really did great stuff before kind of aged out of it.
is
But
that what
even
it's called over here?
Chinese
Chinese?
Zodiac,
Yeah,
I can't remember what year that was. It's maybe 2014 or something like
I
that.
haven't seen that one.
It's worth seeing. But yeah, it makes up the third of sort of that unofficial trilogy, along with Operation Condor and Armor of God. Sort of like a globe-trotting adventurer type movie,
Okay,
I think. But yeah, so I saw Operation Condor in theater. I think it was the next one I saw after First Strike. And at the time, I didn't know it was an older movie getting a re-release. I thought it was the
right.
next Jackie Chan movie. And then maybe I saw Armor of God. No, I can't remember if I saw Armor of God in theater or not. If it must have gotten a release if Operation Condor did. The ones I know I saw for sure were First Strike, Mr. Nice Guy, and Operation Condor. I definitely saw those. I'm not sure if I saw Armor of God or not. But anyway, so thanks so much for joining us for that. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, I'll always I part of the charm of this movie. Oh Ben, we did a while ago. It's on my channel. It can't be too far back. Maybe about a year or so ago. Jay and I did a City Hunter commentary. As usual, there's always things that I should have pointed out and talked about that I forgot about. Particularly Richard Norton, who's a fantastic martial artist and just a goddamn legend. He's a great Australian martial artist. But we did do a commentary of that City Hunters. I think maybe his best comedy, really, just because it's just so wacky and cheesy and funny. I love the dub for that. That one, it's not him dubbing himself, and that actually adds to it because it's just some sort of like weird, silly,
Yeah,
sort of American sounding voice. Yeah, it's great. Oh, and speaking of like fictional bands, The fictional band in that is the most obnoxious band I've ever seen in my life. Period, fictional or otherwise. The band on that, remember on the cruise? That song they sing
Oh
is the
yeah.
most obnoxious thing I've ever heard in my life, but I kind of like it just because of how out there it is. That song is insanity. So yeah, Ben, if you haven't seen City Hunter in a while or haven't seen it, it's worth it for that. And yes, they do the Street Fighter thing, and it's really good too because they use all the they get have cooperation from Capcom, so they've got all the official sounds and everything. So you say he dresses as Chun Li, but it's even funnier than that. Like technically, neither Jackie nor the other guy involved dress like anything. They just transform into them. Is really what it is. I mean, obviously, yes,
With no
Jackie.
context.
No, it
It
just
just
they just
happens.
go into
Yeah.
the arcade, and then magically, it's like they merge with the arcade, so they turn into the characters. And yes, the most memorable, and he does a few. He does E Honda too, and the other guy does Ken, I think. And one of them
Yeah.
one of them is Dalsim, but yeah, the most memorable part is him doing Chun Li, including her famous like victory thing where she does her little hops and like that, and she goes hee like he does that perfectly, which is hilarious. But I love that movie, City Hunter.
It looks
It,
like
it's a ridiculous movie.
Chinese Zodiac is called CZ12. Does that sound right?
Yeah, maybe. I've only seen it as Chinese Zodiac, but a lot of these get multiple titles in different countries and stuff. So
That's what it's coming up for me is 2012. Does that sound right?
yeah, I thought it was 2014, but 2012 sounds right. Yeah,
Okay.
that's really the last movie where Jackie is doing really awesome things. By then he's well into his 50s. So not that he doesn't do worthwhile things afterwards, because as I said, like a really good American movie he did. Speaking of Ireland and all that, was The Foreigner where he stars with Pierce Brosnan. That's a very good drama.
Yeah.
That's a very good drama with some good acting. I enjoy that movie quite a bit. That's 2017, so
Yeah, it was a fun one.
yeah. And it again, it shows like how his acting caught up over time. And again, you always have to remember you can always make fun of him not for being a great actor, but in a movie like that, once again, it's English, not his first
Right.
language. Although he does get to speak some Cantonese in the movie. It's a very emotional movie. He plays a guy that lost his family twice,
Yeah.
so there's a lot to it. But that's a good movie. I'd recommend that if anybody's interested in seeing sort of something more recent or something more dramatic. It's a good movie with Pierce Brosnan. But anyway, that'll wrap it up. It's pretty late for me. I'm trying to not get my schedule too out of whack. So I appreciate
Cool.
Jay coming on a bit earlier to get this done. But I'm glad we got to do it. And we've got more martial arts stuff in the future as we figure it out because we're both really into that. So I'm glad we got to do this one because for this one we've talked about doing for a long time. And we don't know what's next, but we'll work that out. But maybe go back to Jet Li or something next. I don't know. Who knows? We got to do Ong Bak at some point too. Love Ong
Oh
Bak.
yeah.
That was another movie that like I was insane for when that came out in the
Mhm.
theater because like it was like so much of what Jet Li had done, but still had its own different stamp on it.
Mhm.
Tony Jaa was incredible. He didn't really rise to the level of fame I expected. I guess he had some misfires with some other movies like, but Ong Bak, the first one, is just a great one of the best action movies of the 2000s, easily. Great film. But anyway, so yeah, if anybody is wondering, if you look back on my channel, and there might even be a couple on Jay's where we did some of like these. I think on Jay's we did Fist of Legend with Orc, which is
Mhm.
that's my favorite Jet Li movie. In case anybody's curious, is Fist of Legend. But we've done City Hunter. We've done both of the first two police stories. So we hit on some of the classics, but there's plenty more to go. We'll work those in when we can. So anyway, thanks a lot everybody that tuned in. It was a pretty good turnout again, considering I didn't really give notice for this or anything. So I really appreciate the people that showed up. And again, if anybody who's watching this in the future, of course, that's cool too. So
Yeah.
thanks so much for being with us and have a good night. And we'll see you all again real soon on my channel and Jay's channel and Movie Discussion Pocket Dimension and elsewhere, I'm sure. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night. Peace out. Bye bye.